Awesome. Should we talk about what we've got coming up here in a little bit with the Penguin show?
Yeah, next week, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I believe the 9th of September is when it launches. So this is the last episode we're going to have before where we can guarantee to get this out in time for it.
Yes.
So, the Penguin is set in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, following on from the events of the Batman, in which there is now a big crime kind of
Void.
black hole in Gotham, which the Penguin intends to fill. We know we've got some of the Falcones involved.
Yeah.
Including Sophia Falcone, who's the daughter of Carmine, who's just come out of prison by the looks of it. It looks like it's getting a bit chaotic. It's still all very hush-hush and secretive as to whether Robert Pattinson's going to appear. I know a lot of people are genuinely hoping for it to be like 10 episodes of them building up the Penguin coming to power, and the last 15 minutes of the last episode is Batman comes crushing through the window to beat the shit out of Penguin in like a very kind of, this is what Batman does. Oh, you're the person who's causing trouble? Get fucked. Which I think would be very different and very cool. It would also be very comic book.
Yeah. But we do know this is... Matt Reeves has said that the stuff that this show is going to do is to set up Batman 2.
Yes.
So it's like, it's whether or not Penguin's going to be the main antagonist in the Batman 2 or not, or if it's going to get dealt with in this show. That's kind of... I can see him maybe showing up at the end if they want it to be like concluded as the Penguin issue for Batman is concluded in this show, or if it's going to carry on into the film. Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to return to just that creative universe, the Matt Reeves verse of Batman, the visual style and everything.
That detective noir style he used for the Batman suits a crime gangster thriller.
Yeah, like a gangster-esque show.
So well. So I'm very, very excited to see what it brings to the table. Colin Firth was amazing as the Penguin.
Yeah.
Colin Firth? Colin Farrell. Firth. I always get him confused. It is Firth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm doubting myself.
Yeah, now I'm doubting.
Here you go. We don't know everything, chat. No, it's Farrell. It's Farrell.
Oh, well,
I did correct myself correctly. It's Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell's the Irish one. Colin Firth's the English one. Right. Fucking moron. Colin Farrell was phenomenal as Penguin in the Batman. Did a really, really good job. I'm excited to see more of him. I've got a feeling we're going to have some very fun moments that give us a bit of an idea of what we could get. The jury's still out on who the main bad guy for Batman 2 is going to be. A lot of people think Penguin might be. Still a lot of debate about whether it might be a Clayface with like a unique take on Clayface, maybe similar to what we saw in the Batman cartoon recently.
Ooh,
yeah. Some people still praying for a Mr. Freeze. I'll be honest, the only villain I definitely do not want to see in the Batman 2 is Joker.
Yeah, no,
I don't think the weird insanity that I like the Joker for works as well in this universe.
I think you could, but I think it'll be a very different take on the Joker. And also I think it's something that maybe you need more time to set up. I think this world of Gotham maybe needs to go a bit more to shit to allow a bit of a crazy person like Joker to start getting a place there.
So one thing that I also want us to keep an ear out for is we want to keep an ear out for a hit on a carnival, because I am desperate for Dick Grayson to appear in the Batman 2, and that'd be the perfect kind of light Easter egg to just sprinkle in there about a hit going on, potentially to do with the Maroni family or something like that. Because that'd be a really good way to set that up, so that you can maybe have Dick Grayson be a little bit older by the time Batman 2 comes around, because it's maybe been 2 years since the TV show. But that is something I'm really keeping my ear out for, because Dick Grayson's death, Dick Grayson's parents' death, is so tied to organised crime.
Right.
That I'm like, this would be a really good way to kind of sprinkle that in.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping we get, or I'm intrigued to see if we get some other characters sort of teased by name drops or
Yeah.
mention of something going on that is quite clearly another character. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
especially because we're going to be in this crime world.
Mm. I'd also be curious to know if there's any references to like all this new drugs coming up, and it's giving people wicked, terrifying trips or something. It's like maybe a scarecrow kind of
Ooh,
tease or something.
yeah,
I'm
that.
just trying to think like
Oh,
what,
Scarecrow
because
could be a good villain for Batman too.
yeah, like because it's so like drug based
Yeah.
and the noir theme. Like, there's definitely a world where without tweaking Scarecrow insanely,
Mm,
you can make that slot in quite nicely.
yeah, for sure.
What I want them to do for Batman 2, and like that doesn't have to be set up in this show, is take a villain who you don't instinctively feel works really well in this universe, like a Scarecrow and Mr. Freezer Clayface, and
Yeah.
tweak them just enough where you're like, okay,
Well, yeah,
well
like
done.
look at the Riddler. Like the Riddler was done in a very unique way for the first film, but it worked so well. And I think there
Yeah.
is other characters where at face value you'd be like, oh no, they're too wacky or something for this sort of a world. But I think you could probably find a really creative way of doing them.
Matt Reeves, if you manage to pull off the Condiment King in this world, you have my soul.
Imagine.
I should imagine.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. I'm looking forward to what we get from it. Again, looking at long episodes, I think the runtime for the first 4 has leaked at or just around an hour for each of them.
Okay, I'm down.
And again, like I think that should be the target for a lot of these kind of very story-driven worlds. And we'll just have to see if they manage to stick the landing or not. I'm confident they will, but it has also been a while since the Batman came out, and we've
Yeah.
had some changes over at DC. We know HBO have made some big changes on how they want to operate their TV side, and it would be curious to see how much that maybe has affected things in the production.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.